Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everybody had a great holiday on Thursday. I know we had a great time at the Quon's cookout. And the man who is recovering from that still probably is in the studio this morning. Good Saturday morning, Ron Wong.
Hey, good Saturday morning, Larry. It was quite a cookout. And, you know, not only is it the cookout early in the morning where you start, but there's days of preparation that you have to do to feed 250, 300 people.
Yes.
But it was a good time. Great to see a lot of folks out there, and want to thank everybody that came out and enjoyed some fish, fried fish, and wild game.
Wild game. And one of the persons in the studio here he likes wild game. I know that. He likes fish, too. Is our webmaster himself, Guy Trebo. Good Saturday morning, Guy.
Good morning.
Good to have you in here. And, you know, we're kind of waiting for a special guest. We're working on a special guest, and we haven't been able to hook up with him yet, but we still got a special guest on the line with us because that's Bill Cooksey. Good morning, Bill.
Morning. How's everybody doing this opening day of duck season?
Yes, it's opening day of duck season. Yes, it was. And we're going to talk a little bit with Frank later in the show, Frank Barton, about the Arkansas opening day of the duck season and talk about it because he showed me some pictures. And I know that, you know, I can't be in two places. I did not kill a deer last Saturday, as I was hoping for. I did see deer, but Frank always puts this pressure on me. But I do have my new waders from Frog Togs. I've got my license. I'm ready, and I'm going to try to do both of them this year. Now, there is some places where you can actually get the trifecta. Now, Cooksey, what do you think I mean by that?
You go ahead and tell me, Larry. I have no idea.
Well, there is a place in northwest Tennessee where you can go and kill ducks, and kill a deer, and catch a crappie, all at the same place.
That's got to be in Lake County.
That's got to be in Lake County, okay? I mean,
Reelfoot Lake area.
Yeah, if you're up,
Larry. To be fair, I've done that in Madison County.
Bill has just done that in Madison County. Okay.
I was getting ready to say there's several places you probably do that.
Reelfoot is an ideal spot to make that a goal.
It is. Now, it wasn't early on. I'm telling you that for deer. You know, there wasn't a lot of deer in Lake County up there, but of course there wasn't a lot of deer anywhere when I started. There was just happy to see a deer. But now I know that Billy Blakely has been telling me to come up there, duck hunt in the morning, kill a deer in the afternoon, and if you have time, we might catch a fish.
If you get that deer early enough.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of ifs, but I think the best chance is probably catch a fish, okay? For me, it probably will be. But anyway, this is a special show, and we're waiting for the special guest, and I'll tell you what, he's not on the line yet. He's on the road to East Tennessee, and we'll go ahead and say it. I mean, we're trying to hook up with Andy Tweed because he is stepping down after 31 years. As a wildlife officer with the TWRA, and guess where he's been based all those years?
Shelby County,
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Now, is that in dog years? How many years is that? I wonder. I mean,
well, you know, it's funny you say that though, Larry.
Bill's laughing.
Think about the hours that these wardens and all of these resource officers,
that's what I'm
for
talking
TWRA
about.
puts in. You know, you think it's not a 9-to-5 job, and
no.
There are times when they're out at 2:00 in the morning. There's a lot of times 5 in the morning.
Yep.
And you know, get off time isn't 5 o'clock a lot of times.
Well, you may have it right. It may be a 9 to 5 job, but it's 9 at night to 5 the next morning or the next afternoon.
Next afternoon.
Yeah, and so Andy is on his way to East Tennessee to spend the Thanksgiving with his mom over in Johnson City, and we've got all of this ranged up. And right now we can't get Andy, but we're going to be talking to him. So tell us.
The other thing we don't talk about is how many times they get called out when they aren't on the job.
Oh,
yeah. Boat, for Andy, with a boat broken down in the Mississippi River. Our duck hunters got stranded in some backwater somewhere.
He has been the face of the TWRA, really. I mean, here
for this area.
Anything happens, particularly on the river. Bill, you know this. Whether it was the manatee or an alligator or heaven forbid a tragedy on the river. It wasn't too long ago that I saw Andy out there in the boat driving some TV person around on the river.
I believe it.
And that's just part of his job. When he came here out of college and came to this place from East Tennessee and ended up being here over 31 years and has been that person. So I don't know what's going to. I know he's got his young son now. I think Hutch is 10, if I'm not mistaken.
He's 11 now.
10 or 11, yeah, because he was he wants to spend more time with him. So we're going to keep trying to get Andy. If he's in a cell problem that he can't get, but want to throw Bill in there because Bill has known Andy a long time, and Bill, in his capacity now with the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, knows how important the TWRA is. You guys work with them. You have to work with the law enforcement officers. And now, you think, how many counties we got? 76? How many counties do we have? 90?
Don't ask me, Larry.
I don't either. Who knows how many counties in Tennessee?
I thought that there were like 97.
96, 97? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a wildlife officer, at least one in every one.
At least one in every one,
and try to get two. And, of course, we have three with Jeff Peach and Ray McMillan is here. So we're going to
right now they're short. The state TWRA is short on wardens, so 95 counties.
Yeah, 95 counties. Thank you, Bill. I knew you would come through on that.
I was close.
You were close.
Well, I'm just sitting here in the duck blind on Google.
Yeah, I know, on the duck blind on Google. So what have you heard, duck-wise? What have you heard?
Scattered.
Yeah.
Scattered.
Yeah.
People are either on a bunch of them or none. My place a week and a half ago, people were stopping on the highway to look at the ducks, and by last weekend they were gone.
Oh.
So, hopefully as people stir them up this morning, we'll start, seeing some moving around here.
Well,
where they tend to be pretty thick.
Well, we're getting some duck weather. I mean, we are getting some cold weather has moved in. It's been warm, really warm, and then cold weather, and here we are waiting on the cold weather. I know the deer, and we'll talk about that on next week's show with Dave Payne out at Pipe Dream Farms Butchery. I understand he had 107.
Full up.
Full up.
I mean, he
had to shut it down.
He said he won't be able to take any until next Wednesday.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a while. I think it's this Wednesday. Anyway, he was shut down.
Oh, yeah.
No, he was shut down until Wednesday, opened back up. But, because it was a perfect deer day. One of our guys did get a deer, which I was glad. I did not get one. I probably could have killed a spike, and I didn't do it. But, I'm going to be back out there. Like I said, I'm looking forward to duck hunting with everybody else. But, and, Guy, the website's looking good. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All is well.
If you want
LarryRay.com.
LarryRay.com.
We even have a new poem from
Charlie Covington.
Yes.
We're probably the only website that has their own punt. We got a punt master, and we have a poet. Outdoors of Larry Ray's poet.
Yeah.
And that is Charlie Covington, and he's got one in there right now. You got it up, right?
Yep. I put it up there yesterday.
Was there an illustration you could find? I couldn't find one.
I got something.
Okay, I hadn't looked at it. Okay, but go to LarryRay.com if you want to be a sponsor. Guys got it all set up there for you there and everything. And I know that these are the holiday seasons, Bill. I know opening day for you means a lot, doesn't it?
Well, it really does. And this year's the first time, like, my private place has had water in 5 years for opening day. So it's kind of special to be out here today and with at least a little bit of hope in the heart.
Well, that's the thing about it. Duck hunters always have hope in the heart, don't you?
That's right. You have to. It's kind of like farmers. We cuss the weather no matter what it is, and still somehow hope something good's going to happen.
Well, there's 60 days of it, right? I mean, so
that's right.
So split up here, and I was looking at the schedule here. Of course, Arkansas's got they open, then they shut down, and they open back up, and Tennessee. What's the schedule on Tennessee?
Tennessee, of course, opens today. Then it closes down part of next week, and then when it reopens, it runs straight through to the end.
All right.
Unlike Arkansas, it's generally not that big a thing for Tennessee to try to open earlier.
Yeah.
Because we're normally dry. Very few places have water when you back it up before Thanksgiving.
Well, speaking of dry, we do have the man on himself, the man with the dry wit. He's here. I mean, Andy Tweed. Good Saturday morning, Andy. Good Saturday morning.
Yes, sir. How are y'all doing?
We're doing much better now that we hear your voice. Okay. I mean,
good.
I mean, you short timer, but we got Cooksey on the line. We got Wong and Guy Trebo in the studio here, and I'm hoping you'll be able to stay with us for a little while. Can you? I mean,
I'll try my best. If I don't, I may drop off into the abyss here in a minute, but
if you do, let's just
I'll get right back.
All right, we'll call you right back because we got some surprise folks for you, Andy. I mean, you don't realize what this show's going to be once you get going. But we missed you. We missed you at the cookout on Wednesday, but they went ahead and had it anyway, Andy. I didn't know if you.
I ate your share.
Ron Wong ate your share, and I took some of your share home and everything.
Okay,
but you were a topic of conversation because they're all trying to figure out how are we going to make it without Andy Tweed. So
there you go. I mean, it's just a complete mystery. I guess you're going to have to leave it up to Scooby-Doo and company.
No, we're going to post a picture of you on Facebook that people can remember. I'm going through my Andy Tweed folder. Guy Trebo, I have some great photos of Andy Tweed over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. You won't recognize him, okay, when I get through with him and everything. All right, let's take a break. Hey,
wait, just a second, Larry. Just 1 second.
Say it.
I've got to get to Shelby County and get checked by Andy Tweed before he retires because he was the first warden to check me when I moved to Shelby County.
I can imagine a lot of our listeners will say that too, okay? including this one, okay? But we won't go into that detail. So, hey, Bill, why don't you say hello to Andy and you getting out of here. Thank you, Bill.
Hey, Andy, we appreciate everything you do, brother, everything you've done.
Absolutely. You've been a good friend for a long time, and I appreciate it. Love y'all very much.
All right. Hang on, Andy. Yeah, hang on, Andy. Bye-bye, Bill. We'll be right back, okay? All right.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Boy, we're having fun on this Saturday morning. Guy Trebo and Ron Wong. I'm not going to tell you what his nickname is for this next guy, but we are paying a little tribute to a fellow that's been around Shelby County as a wildlife officer and law enforcement for 31 years and decided it's time to take a break from it. And that's our good friend Andy Tweed's on the line as he's heading to East Tennessee to spend the Thanksgiving and the holiday weekend with his mom. And Andy, I wanted this next guest to come in and say a few words because I know you and he go back a long time. And this kind of reminds me of the old TV show, What's My Line? You know, I'll let this guy just say hello to you, Andy, and see if you can recognize the voice. Go ahead, guest.
Andy.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to go down on the Mississippi and catch some more yellow cats?
I would love to, Mr. Bill Dance.
There you go. Yeah, all right.
I should have used a different voice. No. He's heard that one before.
He's heard that one before. But, hey, Bill, thank you for being on with us on this special Saturday morning. You and Andy go back a long way, I know, and spent a lot of time together. And I couldn't think of a better person to start this show out with than Bill.
Well, thank you.
And
well, you know, Tweed and I have done a lot of great things and funny things together. He'd be bored one night, and he was wanting to ride down in the bottoms and see if anybody was shooting deer, and I'd ride with him, and he'd tell wild stories, and I'd tell wild stories. And a lot of people are going to miss Andy because he'd write somebody a ticket, and they'd shake his hand and thank him and smile and walk away with it.
Yeah, they would. I have actually seen that.
But one day, Ronnie Shannon and Tweed and I were riding together, and we were down off Shelby Drive.
Yeah.
And got up on the levee.
Yeah.
And there at the Nonconnah pumping station, we saw a truck parked there.
Yeah.
And the guy had out about 8 rods. And so we pulled down there, and I was sitting in the front seat. Ronnie got out, and he walked over, and he said, how you doing this evening? Oh, this morning. And he probably said this evening when it was morning, knowing Ronnie. But anyway, he said, I'm a Tennessee wildlife officer. I'd like to check your license. And this black fella, he says, license? And Ronnie said, yes. And he said, my brother told me that I didn't have to have a license. At blah, 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 blah. And Ronnie said, well, your brother told you wrong. You're supposed to have one.
Yes.
And you got all these rods out. And what was funny, when the bait would hit the water, it just turned green.
It would turn green.
It looked like it had 25 plankton blooms on it. But I got out of the truck, and Tweed and I were standing there, and this black fella, he keeps looking at me.
Yes.
And Ronnie says, you know this guy? And he says, I think I do.
Yes.
And but I just don't know what to do. Here I am getting a ticket in front of Mr. Bill Dance.
Oh,
that's just so embarrassing. And I said, wait a minute, what's your name? He said, James. I said, James, don't feel bad. They got me, going to carry me to jail for having 50 bass in my live well. And he said, jail? Did you say jail?
Yeah.
And Rodney said, yeah. And Tweed got to laughing. And he said, you can't arrest Mr. Bill Dance. Get that thought out of your head. You're not going to arrest Mr. Bill Dance. I said, well, I appreciate your help. And he said, look, you do what you want to with me, but you leave Mr. Bill Dance alone.
There you go, Tweed. I mean, you remember that? You remember that, Andy?
I do. I remember that vividly. It seems like it was yesterday.
And it wasn't yesterday, was it? I hope it wasn't yesterday. I mean,
well, it was 2 days ago.
It was 2 days ago. but Andy, Bill, I know that Andy was on the job, and this is a thankless job. When you're not working 9 to 5, unless I told somebody you're working 9 at night to 5 the next morning, being a wildlife officer is not that jelly roll job, right, Bill Dance?
No, it's not. I can answer that, but I'm sure Tweed can tell you too of shaky moments and different things. I remember one day riding down the street, and he saw a guy throw out some stuff over here in Collierville.
Yeah.
And he pulled a truck over, pulled the guy over. And the guy said, what are you pulling me over for? He said, throwing trash out. And he said, well, I didn't throw any trash out. And Tweed picked it up and showed it to him. He said, is your name Robert Hall? And he said, yeah. He said, why are these letters pre-marked?
Oh, yeah. The letters on the trash. You didn't give him a ticket, did you, Andy?
Hey,
oh, no.
Let me tell you the wildest thing. I went with Ty Inman and Andy over Fayette County.
Yes.
And he was going to let me work the remote control on the deer.
Oh, the Timex.
So I Ty's up on the one end of this gravel road, And Tweed put me out, and he said, "Your name is Indiana 1."
Indiana
1. I'm Indiana 3, and whatever it was, and Ty's Indiana 2. He said, "Now you tell us if he shoots or if he gets out of his truck." And I said, "Okay, tell me what he's doing." So I said, "He stopped. He's right here. He's not 20 yards from me. He stopped.
Yeah,
he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot. I guarantee he's going to shoot." And he said, "Work the deer, turn his head slightly to the right." And I hit the button, and he said, it went, it spun so fast to the left, and then I went, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And then it went, and it went, and went to the right. He said, and the truck drove off, and he said, "Indiana 1." A deer can't turn his head that fast to the right and to the left. You just made it look unnatural, and we just lost him. Well, the guy goes up, and it wasn't 5 minutes later, Larry, he comes back in this van.
Yeah.
And Tweed said he's going to shoot this time. He's going to shoot this time. Get ready, Ty. Get ready. He's pointed your way.
Yeah.
And so Andy said, "Why didn't he shoot?" And I said, "I don't know. Why don't you come down here and ask him?" And he says, "Doggone it." And so Tweed comes in from behind and crawls up there in this mound behind me. He said, "Don't make a move." So Tweed goes down the bank and over a ditch and got up on the gravel road and got crawled almost and got behind the van, and he stuck his head around the corner of the van. And the guy's looking at him in the mirror and waves at him. And Tweed went, "I got busted." He walked up there and he said, "Y'all have been driving up and down this road looking at deer. What are you trying to do?" And the guy said, "Shoot him."
Shoot him.
And Tweed said, "No, you're not going to do that." And he said, "Why would you drove by a while ago and you were gone a little while? What did you do to make you come back?" He said, "I just went back to get our camera. My wife wants to shoot a picture of it."
Is that true, Andy? Is this?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep, sure is.
And you and this man have had some experiences together, right, Andy Tweed? Yeah.
We've had a bunch. Can I tell you how I met Bill Dance, or the first time I met him?
You better do it.
Yeah.
You got 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You remember when we used to have the hunting and killing show?
Yes.
At the Mid-South Coliseum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Bondurant show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever they called it, but we had a booth there.
Yeah.
And this would have been probably spring of 1994.
Okay.
And walking just past our booth, and there is Bill, and I think it was Dick Tillman, and 2 or 3 other people standing around talking. And so I walked by, and I looked down, and there's a $10 bill laying there.
On the
So
floor?
I reached down on the floor, so I reached down to get it, and all of a sudden it yanked away from me. Real quick. And they had put fishing string on that.
Oh, Dance.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Was it? You wouldn't do that, would you, Bill? I mean,
A quicker Dominica jump a dipper.
Well,
and I'm telling you, from that point forward, we've been really close friends ever since.
Ever since
So,
that, did you ever get the $10 bill back from him? I just wondered.
Oh no, he made me show him $5 how to do it again.
Do it again. Hey, Bill Dance, we appreciate you. I know you're a busy guy, and thank you for taking time as we to pay tribute to Andy and, for his 31 years here in Shelby County, and appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'm not going to say goodbye, Tweed. I'm going to just say looking forward to seeing you real soon and many more times after that.
There you go.
Congratulations on your retirement, and I know a lot of people are going to miss you, especially those that you carried to jail.
That's right.
So,
That would be me.
that would be you. Yes, sir.
Bill, thank you.
Thanks, Bill. All right, buddy.
Thank
buddy.
you. Love you, Andy.
All right.
Love you too. Take care.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, Andy, you hang on. Bill's gone. We're going to take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. As we normally have on Fifth Saturday, Dave Gabbert and Gene Smith would be in studio, but we're doing a special tribute to a special friend of Outdoors with Larry Ray, and many of you out there have gone one-on-one with this guy. I don't know if it's in the courtroom or on the in the fishing boat or on the Mississippi River or finding manatees or alligators or whatever it might be. But Guy Trebo, the webmaster for LarryRay.com, and, of course, we brought in the pro over there, the Hall of Famer himself, Ron Wong, is sitting in. But we've got another guest for you, Andy. This guy actually was a part of the team in the 90s. And I always thought much of this young man, and he's gone on to a different position with the TWRA, but he wanted to be on, and I thought it'd be a great tribute to you, Andy, to welcome Larry Armstrong to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And you and Larry were together for a while, right, Larry?
Yeah. It was the early 90s. That tells you how old we are, I guess.
No, we're not getting into age right now, but Andy, Larry Armstrong is now, what's your position now, Larry? I forget.
I'm the WMA coordinator. They've changed my name 2 or 3 times, but I think that's the official name now, WMA coordinator. But basically I coordinate with most all the state properties along the Mississippi River and Obion River corridors, the WMAs, and all the staff involved with all of those areas. So
and you were here from, what, 92 to 99, you told me, or something like that? Or?
Yeah, 92 to 99. I was there when Tweed got hired, or Andy. I've always called him Tweed, but so I was there before him, and he's retiring, and I'm not. So if that tells you something.
How about it, Andy, about Larry?
I tell you what, we had some good times. I tell you what was crazy. When I got hired, the Larry and Steve were here, and they'd only been here a year, and they were trying to train me. We had single cab pickup trucks. So you can imagine what it looked like. 3 of us in a single cab pickup truck, and Larry's a big dude. So, and I'm pretty good size too.
Yeah.
And and then all of our equipment, if we had waders on or bibs and all the stuff we had to carry to go to the river wherever we were going.
Yeah.
I mean, you could barely see over anything with your eyeballs. I mean, it's pitiful.
Things have changed, but Larry, when you think about it, for Andy to be 31 years in this area, that's dedication, isn't it, Larry?
It's very dedication, very rare for. Gosh, it was a whirlwind when I started. I mean, some of your listeners may remember Finest Barnes.
Oh, yes, yes.
He had left, and I think someone else had come in and maybe stayed a year, and then I came in and with Steve and Donald Hossey, which they're both, and Steve Henderson, and they're both retired now and have moved on to other jobs. But I stayed around there for about 7 years, and Andy got hired, and even Joe Campbell came in during that time also, and he's retired out of our Nashville office now. But there's been a lot of people come and go. Come through Shelby County, and I can't even remember everything after that. But it's very dedicated for someone to stay in that county for 30 years, and I'm just glad that I was able to work with Andy and his dedication and what he's done for that area. And if there was anything fixing to happen, he was the one I was fixing to call, and
well,
I guess you could say trusted him with my life. And
well, you do. I mean, you guys.
I was able to call in.
Yeah, most of the people you guys run into were carrying firearms, and I know Larry was there when I became outdoor editor at the Commercial Appeal in 1988, and worked with Mr. Barnes and a lot of other people, Jed Pettit and all those people like that, and then I met Larry early in my career as the outdoor editor, and then, of course, met Andy at that time. And Andy, that's a long time to stay at one place. Did you ever think about going someplace else? I mean, a lot of people have moved on, as like Larry said, a lot of people are retired already. But talk about being here. Andy?
It's an exciting place. I know we live in a dangerous town, but all in all, and through all these years, there's so many good people that we run into every day.
Yeah.
I meet so many nice people, and that's why I stay here. And I love to duck hunt, and we're close to the ducks. And other than that, there's a lot of wonderful people here.
Well, I know, and Larry, you look at this, your career. How many years you got now, Larry?
32.
All right.
32 plus.
Yeah, 32 plus, and the dedication to this job, as we've talked about this is not a 9-to-5 job, Larry. When you think back when you guys were 3 of you and trying to get in a single cab truck.
Yeah, I got a funny story about he mentioned single cab truck.
Okay, go with it.
I can remember one night Andy and I were working on the Mississippi River levee in that single cab truck with all of our gear working spotlighting. And this was when night vision we got our first night vision, which was hand-me-downs from the military. I guess you could say the first generation.
Okay, yeah.
And we thought we really had something. And we're sitting on the levee, and I'm passenger with all this stuff in the truck, and he's driving, and he's got the night vision.
Yeah.
Of course, we tried to sneak around. We didn't have any lights on the truck. And we see a light off in the distance, somebody possibly spotlight, and Andy puts the night vision on, and he takes off. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I can't see anything. And he's probably running 60 mile an hour on a gravel road or more, no telling. I didn't want to look.
Yeah.
But all I remember is I can't see nothing. All I heard was "oh" and an expletive. And boom. We hit 2 deer in the middle of the road.
Oh, you hit 2 deer.
It's like we're out of commission. So there's a lot of good stories and times that probably some of them you can't tell. It's kind of like your high school and college buddies.
Well, I
be telling on yourself.
That's coming in Tweed's book.
It was a great time.
Yeah, Tweed's going to write a book. It's going to be 3 pages long, single spaced. Okay, I mean,
you got it.
With all those, but memories of what it's all about, Andy. And I know we could do a lot about that, but the career. This is what you wanted to do, wasn't it? I mean,
ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah,
and
I remember you.
I'm going to say my dad was more responsible for that than anybody.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful time growing up as a little kid. We canoed, kayak, fished, you name it. We were on top of it.
And then you became the face of this area. Now, who's going to replace Andy Tweed's face, Larry Armstrong? That's what I'm worried about. Because you see Andy on TV, and he's always driving the boat, and he's got a TV person with him or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks like he just got out of the Rambo movie. He's got all this stuff.
Well, he looks so official every time he's on
He's
TV.
official Andy. That's what it is. It's not the Andy of Mayberry. It's the Andy of Shelby County. But you've seen so many changes, Andy. When you look back on the career of over 3 decades, as Larry listens in, as our listeners listen in, there's been so many. You've gone. You have changed trucks. We do know that. Okay. I mean,
yeah. I finally got a new one. They let me get rid of that '84 Yugo.
Okay. Gave you a new set of tires too, probably.
Yep.
But
yep.
So
now I tell you what has changed drastically is going to be just like cellular communications, emails, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
You can't hide from it. Back in the day, Larry and I, we had no cell phones, a radio that barely worked, and it was wonderful. I mean,
it was wonderful.
No, the office couldn't get hold of you.
Oh, that's true.
We would go out and work, and we would end up taking people to jail and all this stuff, and you didn't have to log any of this stuff in. It was just on your ticket that you wrote.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was a simpler, much easier time. You would get in 11 o'clock at night, you'd check your answer machine, and believe it or not, you would have 50 messages of more people poaching here, there, and yonder.
Yeah.
And boy, once the email machine showed up, the text message and the googly and all that, it's made everything very complex.
Well, talk about, and as Larry Armstrong listens in to us, again, thank you, Larry. Andy, advice to somebody that's listening out there, wants to be a wildlife officer. I mean,
don't do it. Go be a lawyer.
Go be a lawyer.
Go be a lawyer. Take all the doctor's money, then become a game warden.
And then well, you could become a what do you call it? You were in court a lot. I mean, you were in because everything had to be done through the court, and you would go through. What's the name of the court? I forget it now.
We're in the environmental court.
Yeah, that's right, the environmental court. Everybody, when you'd walk in, there's Mr. Tweed over there. You know, I mean, because you had to handle all those different kind of things, and you don't just think about the firearm part. You had to do the ticketing, all these different kind of things, and dove fields, all these things like that that you had to do, and so you got to want to be on this job. And I appreciate you, Larry, taking time to help us kind of do some stories and make fun with Andy. But, Andy, we appreciate the job that you've done and the legacy that you've left, man. I mean, here and everything. So
well, yeah, and I echo those remarks, Andy. It's been a pleasure to have you as a friend, and we'll always be a friend. But thank you for the great job you've done.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, we got one more segment. We want Andy to hang on. Larry, buddy, thank you, Larry Armstrong. Always one of my favorites. I wanted to reach out, Andy, to Larry because I kind of started with Larry back in those days, and I started with you just about in those days back there. And I can remember some of them. I've written stories about new wildlife officers coming and going in Shelby County. One of them I wrote a big story about, and she was gone before the story came out, I think. But we'll go about that. But you've outlasted them all. Thank you. Thank you, Larry Armstrong, buddy. Have a great weekend, okay? We'll stay in touch. All right?
Thank you. Congratulations, Tweed.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Everybody just calls him Tweed. We call him Boss Tweed. I guess we could say that, you know. He's the E.H. Crump of the wildlife officers. All right, we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Good Saturday morning to all you folks in Brownsville on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. And, of course, in Jackson on News Talk 101.5. And, of course, right here in Memphis on AM 790, 92.9 HD FM. Every Saturday morning in Memphis from 9 to 10:30. And we're playing special treatment today to a man who probably needs some treatment. I don't know. After 31 years as a wildlife officer in Shelby County, I don't know what the battle pay time is, and I don't know how he's handled it for that many years, and that's our good friend Andy Tweed. And Andy, first of all, thank you for taking time on your way to your East Tennessee to spend time with your mom. Hope you have some great Thanksgiving holidays over, Andy. And we've got a couple of guys on the line right now that I know you know of, and one of them we're going to talk about what happened on Wednesday out at his brother's world famous Harris Quon place where I get my Toyotas worked on. But this is Peanut Quon, and along with that, Andy, I want to get a quick Arkansas duck report at the end of this segment with a man that I hope to hunt with this year, and I know how much you love duck hunting, and that's our good friend Frank Barton. So we got Peanut and Frank on here. Let's get with Peanut first, and Frank, you hang on. But, Peanut, you had a great event on Wednesday at your brother's garage there, and talk about that, and then talk about, before you talk about that big event, I know we wanted to mention that Andy, if he could have been there, was going to be kind of recognizing things. But talk about Andy and your friendship, Peanut, and then talk about what went on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, good morning, everybody. It's it was tiresome. I'm glad it's over, but my brother and I, Harris, have been doing this cookout. It's a wild game luncheon we've done for the last 20-plus years, and with COVID in 2020, we kind of shut it down for a few years. Well, we brought it back in full force this year, and we've had about 300 people show up. It's a wild game dinner we do.
Yes.
deer fillets, duck poppers, fish, and it's just a chance for a good bunch of folks to get together. Good camaraderie between the folks, people we work with, people we hunt and fish with from the outdoors, and it's just an opportunity to get together and catch up. And, you know, fishermen, when they get together, they're going to share some lives, and, you know, there's a lot of that going on. So,
and all I know is a lot of firearms are with those people out there, too. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Most folks know I'm a retired law enforcement officer, and so there's usually a bunch of law enforcement folks, a bunch of mechanics, a bunch of parts guys.
Yeah.
Guys we hunt and fish with, and it's just an opportunity to do it. Next year, y'all keep in mind, if it's open for anybody. It's a big networking thing, and we welcome anybody come to it. And it's get together, have a good time.
It's a wonderful event, and Andy, I know you've been to it, and you know what goes on there.
Oh yeah. It's a really good time, and man, I'm telling you. Don't eat for 2 days before you go.
And I know, Ron, you got to pitch in right here because you love to do. You're part of this, right? Right.
Well, I enjoy helping. Peanut's been doing it a lot longer than I've been there to help, but it's so good to see all of the first responders.
Yeah, right.
Folks like from the TWRA that are there.
Yeah.
And it's just being thankful for friends.
Yeah.
Thank you for the great food, and it's just great camaraderie. And of course, Andy, we're going to miss you, but you'll be back next year, and then we'll celebrate.
We'll have more free time next year, and we know that. So talk about Peanut. Talk about Andy.
Andy and I go way, way back. We've been in the fishing lure business since 1989, 30 plus. I'm telling my age now.
That's okay.
I'm telling Andy's age too. So we used to do the boat shows, and we used to see Andy with the TWRA booth there, and we always got to go by and mess with him. He's easy going, but just a super nice guy, super nice guy. Most game wardens you meet are not that friendly, but Andy's a different breed. He gets along with everybody, and he does a good job, and everybody I've ever dealt with in the outdoors said he's the most easiest going law enforcement officer you see. I've dealt with. So he does a great job, and he's got a reputation. Everybody knows him.
Oh, does he have a reputation?
Yeah.
Andy does.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm not saying anything. No. What reputation? No, but well, I know this other guy that's on the line with us too is my good friend Frank Barton, who's a co-host on this show on the third Saturday, and I know Frank and knows Peanut, and of course he knows Andy too from the long time at the shows and everything. And I know how much Andy loves to duck hunt. So I said, hey Frank, can you come on just for a few minutes? I know Peanut loves to duck hunt. He duck hunts down in Mississippi, and of course Frank duck hunts in Arkansas. And I said, Frank, can you come on for a few minutes and just make Andy excited and tell him what happened opening weekend in Arkansas? What happened? What happened, Frank?
Well, for us, we had a real good opening weekend. I mean, at least opening day. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Opening day, and opening days are always special. You only get one a year. And I had my son and two other friends with us out there, and we saw a lot of ducks, and we ended up shooting 20 ducks. So we were one duck shy of a limit for all four of us. And
Peanut will take that. Peanut will take that.
My son's young dog got to pick up a lot of ducks, so got a lot of action, and that was his first hunt, and they always hope for good things for a young dog on their first hunt, kind of like a young son, on their first hunt, and so we saw a lot of ducks for about the first 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it slowed down. Now that's the good news.
Yes.
The bad news is we went back not to the same spot, but to a spot that was within about 500 yards of it. So it was same area the next day, and we did not see many ducks. And
that's typical.
So that is to me, that's a typical opening weekend where, every place that, if you're a duck hunter, you go opening day. So every spot that can hunt ducks probably hunted ducks on on last Saturday.
Yeah.
And that much pressure, and still don't have a lot of ducks down because the migration is pretty early.
Yeah.
They moved out.
But you
with
did
with that much pressure.
You did send a picture, so he let me know there was some ducks. Now, Andy, when you hear this, and I know how much you love duck hunting, just think, Andy, at this same time next year, you will have been forgotten. Nobody will remember you. Okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be it.
you're going to be able to hunt opening day, Andy.
Exactly. I was going to say, because I did not get to go this last weekend.
Yes. Yeah. So what does that mean? I mean, if when you look forward and you hear Frank's duck report and you hear Peanut and all these things that's going on, what's Andy Tweed going to do with himself?
I'm gonna be calling them and going, hey, you got room in the blind?
All right.
For a retired fish cop?
Yes,
So,
yes. But it is going to be different, right, Andy? I mean,
it will be. It'll be a lot different. And, I'm going to miss, like I said, I'm going to miss all the wonderful people that you meet. And then, there's some really good people I work with, and going to miss them. But it's time to pass the gavel. It's time for the youngsters to take over.
Yeah. Well, Andy, and also your son, and Larry and I were talking about his age. He's what, 11?
10 or 11.
12?
He's 10.
He's 10.
He's 10. Larry, you're right.
I'm right for a
change. It gives you a chance to get to spend time with him and show him the outdoors that you know. And there's got to be a lot to be said about that, isn't it, Andy?
Oh, absolutely. We already spent a lot of time outdoors. We fish, and he loves to play in the creek, so we go get wet and dirty and muddy and have a big time.
Well, yeah. I think that most of and Peanut will admit to that because he's got 38 grandkids, or how much, I don't know how many. Quons are everywhere, But
one on the way.
Yeah, that's right, one on the way. And Frank, I know you're bringing your grandson up to the love of the outdoors, and so I guess, Andy, this gives you an opportunity. Man, people. I keep harping on this, but this job is a demanding job, and it's a full-time job.
This particular profession, you have to live it. There's no, it's not like punching in at 8 o'clock in the morning and leaving at 5 and nobody bothers you.
Yeah.
I get calls 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning from the sheriff's department if I'm not out, and I got a call this morning at 8 o'clock about it here in the business.
Yeah. So I mean, it happens, and I know, Frank, you being from East Arkansas and that Marion area and everything like that, everybody knows the wildlife officer, right, Frank? I mean,
absolutely. Got him on speed dial on my phone.
Got him on speed dial, Andy. Hear that? So,
but there again, and that's a good thing, Frank. I know you've got it for one reason only, and that's to help them.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Thanks, Peanut, and for all that. And Andy, thank you for being with us. I know you're on the road. Be careful. Frank, wait on me. Okay, Frank, I'm going to kill this deer and get it out of the way. We'll talk to you, Frank. Okay, buddy? All right.
Hurry up. We can go duck hunting.
Hurry up. Okay, guys, thank y'all for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're going to take a break, switch gears a little bit, but we just want to say thank you, Andy Tweed. How about it, guys? How about it?
Well, Andy.
Thank you, Andy Tweed.
There you go.
Andy, thank you so much for everything.
Yes.
And our friendship.
Yes.
There you go.
Be careful, Andy. Have a great holiday.
All right, you too. Y'all take care. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. How many times, Guy Trebo, you think in 24-plus years I've said that?
Say that again. What did you just say?
He don't have that many fingers and toes.
How many times do you think I've said, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray over the last 24-plus years? All right.
24 years?
Yeah.
It would be easier to think of how many people's heard it.
How many? Well, that guy sitting in the room and he didn't hear it. So I mean,
that's because I wasn't listening.
He wasn't listening.
I'd say about 30,000 times.
30,000 times. Okay, yeah. How about that? That's pretty good, folks. But hey, we're here, and Guy Trebo, of course, is the webmaster for LarryRay.com, and boy, I tell you what, we've really done a lot of stuff with that. And I don't know, but we got two special guests coming on right now. They're normally on the show with us. Next week they will be back as first Saturday, and of course that's the pun master himself, Gene Smith, and of course
good morning.
My man Dave Gabbard has got my rifle all set in, and I'm hoping to kill a deer with it. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, now let's get back to Guy Trebo here. Now, because how long we been doing?
Well, I built a site after 3 years. You had been on 3 years.
I've been on 3.
I begged you for a year to let me build that site.
You did, yeah.
I was doing my golf show, and I wanted a website. Back then, nobody really knew much about how to do that.
No,
because it was very new. But so I just bought a program and taught myself. But then after I did my website, I wanted to do other sites, and I know you were a little bit interested, so I just nagged you for a year.
And now we've won awards with that site.
Yeah, we did.
I think it's
Ciopa
and that's why it's called the Webmaster.
Yes, and we deal all the information, folks. Dave and Gene know this for a fact. As we said, we got the only poet laureate, and that's Charlie Covington. We got all those. We have all the DU, anything that happens. And I'm going to make some announcement right here that in 2025, in January, you're going to see some new names pop up on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Yes, sir.
Not only on the website, but as sponsors of this show.
Yep.
And we have signed one right now is ready to roll, and that is B&M Poles. Our good friend Jack Wells.
All right.
Nice. From down in West Point, Mississippi, will join us in January. And we will also like to announce that the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency is coming back with Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Yes,
and we've got another one we're going to hold off on. But if you would like to be a sponsor on the show, you can go to my website, LarryRay.com, and guys put together. You can click on there, and we even have web sponsors too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you'd like your company to be featured on what I think is the best website there's out there, the most up-to-date, and Ron's the star of the website. I mean, you and Ron.
No,
you put all those.
I provide this stuff for Guy to make it look good.
He does, doesn't he? I mean, we got pictures, we got videos, and this man sitting next to me right now is more than a friend.
Yeah.
In fact, both of these.
Do I owe you money?
No, you don't. These two guys, these four guys, go ahead and hit his thumb, break it for me. These four guys that we have on, two in the studio, and these two on the line with us right now, are like brothers to me. These probably maybe the foremost best friends I got in this business, right here. Gene Smith was there. Gene Smith was there.
Why we do it. We love the show. We love the outdoors.
That's right.
Gene was there when we started. Dave's been in there 20 years or so. And Ron, I mean, me and Ron go back to Surplus City, or I don't know where you know.
We probably go back that far, Larry, and that's back in the 70s.
Yeah, back in the 1970s, not 18. You want to make sure that we were in the 1970s, and Ron and I, and then Guy. God brought Guy into my life and has changed this show for the better. And so I just wanted to pay that. I know we're getting off kilter here a little bit, but this is Thanksgiving. This is giving thanks for the friends that we have and what God has provided us for. And I can't think of four better friends for Outdoors of Larry Ray and just me personally than Ron Wong, Guy Trebo, Gene Smith, and Dave Gabbard. And I just wanted to put that out there.
Larry, thank you for everything, and thank you for the friendship. A
lot of people say I'm too old to do this. Why don't I retire? I'm middle-aged for a 162-year-old man, and I heard my cohorts earlier in the week talking about some people need to retire. They fired Mac Brown, poor old Mac Brown at North Carolina, because he was 73. Mac, I got you. I got you by 8 years, okay? And I'm still going. I'm going out on my terms, and you guys have been part of it. And I need a pun right now, Gene. I need a pun bad. You got an old man pun? I mean, how about it, Gene?
Okay, old man pun.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Look it up in your book there. You got it.
Well, I forgot to get my book out.
Oh, well.
Oh, okay, I tell you,
just give me one.
These two old men were sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
They're 88 in our age, or 80-something years old.
Okay.
And they talking about remarrying, and they kept talking about our age. He said, yeah, but I met this 36-year-old young lady. He said, 36 years old? I thought we talked about all that. He said, yeah, but you hadn't seen her.
Okay. Oh, all right, Dave Gabbard. How we doing, buddy? Everything going all right with you?
We doing good. I'm just sitting here drinking coffee and watching squirrels run around. I've had a new batch of squirrels show up.
Yeah.
I count 17 out there right now running around. So.
Well, what does that mean for the mass crop?
Well, I don't know about the mass crop, but my songbirds don't like them because they're eating all the sunflower seeds up.
Dave has a wonderful facility.
Well, Dave, you could probably do some fried squirrel and gravy and biscuits.
I was thinking of food.
Yeah, because these are a new. I was sitting there. Told a young lady one time she was squirrel hunting, and I looked at her and I said, there's only two types of squirrels, don't you? and she looked at me and looked at me and said, gray and fox? I said, no, frying or dumpling.
How about that, Gene Smith? You're getting out Trump.
There you go.
You're getting
They're
out.
either young enough to fry or you got to make dumplings with them.
Well,
that's right.
I tell you what, everything is going good, and there's my phone ringing. Oh, it's another job offer. Oh, I'll put that down.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think it's the IRS. It's DirecTV. Why would DirecTV call me at this time of day? I don't know. Some kind of bonus or something along that line. But anyway,
I'm just glad it decided to get kind of cold. Finally, I looked into last couple of the kudzu finally got a little burnt.
Yeah, well, see, Ron, all the hunters are in the woods now and on the duck blind. But
I love it.
But do you have enough? You don't fish in this kind of weather, do you, Ron?
As long as it's not freezing.
As long as it's not freezing. Okay. Well, I didn't see any pictures this week, so
we're kind of busy cooking.
Cooking, yeah. Ron had
It's been Thanksgiving. It's been the day before and everything else.
Yeah. Anyway, but I know that a lot of things going on Thanksgiving-wise, and we've had the holidays and things along that line. But I know my rifle is ready, Dave. I could have shot a spike last weekend. I'm going to go today. Get on out there today sometime.
Hey, they eat good.
Yeah. Well, I don't kill spikes, but maybe I should have after it's over. It's all big 8-point day, but I really feel confident this year. And, Dave, as soon as the season's over, I took a picture on Facebook of my rifle.
I've seen it.
Yeah, with that tamer on the end.
Yeah, I thought you was using a Barrett there for a minute.
Well, I want you to know, as soon as the season over, Keith Warner's taking that tamer off for me. Okay, Dave? I mean, it's gone. He's got to take it off, and I won't be worried about kicking or anything like that, and it won't be so loud because now I can't get anybody to hunt in the same stand with me. They're putting me out alone because that tamer is so loud. But I ran a picture of it on Facebook, and I wondered if people would say, what in the world is on the end of that guy's rifle? Well, that's one of the original, what would he call them, Dave? Suppressors? Is that right?
Suppressor? It's not a suppressor. It'd be the original type muzzle brake.
Muzzle brake, yeah. The original type. Wayne Umbarger built that for me back in 87, I think it was, on the end of my Ruger 270 because I was having some flinching problems. Well, now I got flinching problems because it's so loud. because when I shoot it, all the air comes back. Is that right? And the holes are really big, right, Dave?
Oh yeah, and it directs all. You get a big back blast off of it.
Okay, yeah. And I was trying to describe it because Dave knows a thing or two, but he's got me some 130 grain reloads. Is that what I'm using, right, Dave? Right?
Yeah, for your 270. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm using this year is 130 grain reloads. But if you want to get anything checked, Keith Warner's the man to do it. He's getting ready to move pretty soon out of the Carrefour Shopping Center. They're finally, like 3 years they've been working on tearing that thing down where Mr. B's used to be. Ron, you know where that is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
good stuff.
Yeah, but it's been sitting there 3 years, but they're finally that Keith told us he's going to move a couple of blocks away, and we'll have that posted on Outdoors with Larry Ray as soon as Keith makes that move and everything. All right, Shelby, are we ready to take a break? Let's take a break, come back and close this baby out. Gene Smith, Dave Gabbert, love you guys. Thank y'all. Okay.
You want another one? You want a short one?
Yeah, give me a short one.
There was a guy sitting on the front row of the church, and nobody was sitting next to him. He was called Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew.
Can I have an amen?
Amen. We'll be back. I think we'll be back. We'll be bye. All right.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
What do I say, Guy Trebo?
Welcome back to Larry Ray, Outdoors with Larry Ray.
There you go, Guy Trebo has done it. He has done the introduction to Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Been a long time.
Been a long time, but he popped up in a hurry, and I thought Juan was going to have to take over. We saved the best for last, okay?
Always.
Yeah. And I contacted her earlier in the week, and I said, man, we need to close this show out. We paid a tribute to Andy Tweed. We could only do so much Tweed in one show. You know, that we got to have some class in the show. And so we put it at the end, and because there's so much stuff going on. Sunday is Advent Sunday. It's December the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. And everything's Christmas-wise. And there's so much going on in West Tennessee in this area, and who better to talk to than the young lady with the longest title of any guest that we have. Of course, you know Marty,
exactly right.
Marty Marbry of the West Tennessee Tourism. Good Saturday morning, Marty.
Good morning, guys. I mean, is everybody got their elastic waist pants on today?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I got my I've got my leisure. I got my leisure suit on. Okay. So.
I don't know who got stuffed at our house, the turkey or me. I mean, so much to eat, so much good food, and just so much to be grateful for. But let me just tell you.
What's going on?
Hang on. Larry, put your seatbelt on.
All right, I've got it. Ready,
okay.
ready, Guy?
Yep.
Okay.
Here's Guy, you ready?
I'm ready. He's ready.
Okay. Here's the scoop for the next few weeks.
Scoop.
We are full of twinkles and sprinkles, lights and fun. Your holidays are going to be perfect in West Tennessee.
All right.
From the Peabody Hotel to the Square at Paris, Main Street Savannah to the lights at Discovery Park, it's all spectacular. So downtown Dyersburg is decked out, and they are hosting their Christmas parade on December the 2nd.
Okay, December the 2nd.
I'm giving a tip.
What?
You guys that are trying to find the perfect gift, a unique gift, a fun gift, you need to make a trip to the Tennessee State Museum in Nashville.
Oh, that's a great place. Been there. Yes.
Fun. And the gift shop is full of great gifts that you can give.
Yep.
On December the 7th, head to Perry County, the Commodore Hotel for the Little Linden Christmas. It's a day full of shopping, music. They have a baking contest.
That's a week from That's a week from today.
Yeah.
I want to be a judge.
A judge. Here come to judge.
Need I say more?
Okay.
And They have a Christmas tea with Santa.
Oh,
how
tea
fun
with
is
Santa.
that?
Oh, that's great.
December the 12th through the 14th.
Yeah.
Y'all, it opens back up.
What is it?
Sorghum Valley Christmas in Dyersburg.
Sorghum Valley. I love sorghum. You know that?
Yes.
On a biscuit.
Trees.
Yes.
Trees, and I'll make you some biscuits, Larry, if you'll go get some.
I'll get some
I'm
sorghum.
a good biscuit maker.
Oh, I'm a good biscuit eater. Okay.
Well, there you go. What a pair.
All right. I like pears, too.
Yeah, trees and lights and treats await you at this amazing Christmas village. If you've not ever gone,
Been there.
this year is the year.
All right. What?
Graceland Christmas tours.
Oh, yeah.
Run now through December 23rd.
Yeah.
You can't miss the blue lights at Graceland.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And do y'all remember last month I told y'all about the new exhibit at Graceland Pompeii?
Yes. Yeah.
I went. It is amazing. It is. The story is just fascinating. You can't miss it.
I mean, that's an amazing thing you think about in history. And
exactly.
And the way I've heard somebody, one of my neighbors went, it's like stepping back and seeing how old these things are.
Yeah.
And the history that goes in it. And a lot of people not realizing, hey, this is not just Elvis out there at Graceland, folks. There's a world of things that you can do. And my son spent the day out there. And this is a wonderful. I didn't mean to jump in on you on that, but
that's okay.
This is a traveling exhibit. And how long will it be there, Marty?
I believe it is until the end of December.
I think
now
so too.
It's not in my notes.
No, but it is. It's you got a little bit of time, but don't delay it. Go ahead, Marty. I'm sorry.
Don't delay. It is an amazing exhibit, and what I loved about it, there are so many different things that are their first time out of the country of Italy.
That's right. Yeah.
So very, very cool. You know what? We've got
what?
You've got to take time to experience. We have some drive-through lights.
Where?
At Safari Park.
Oh wow, that would be fun.
It is
really?
the first time
I've
ever.
never heard of that. Yeah.
It is the first time ever, so you don't want to miss that.
Okay.
Shelby Farms.
Yep.
Head out to Shelby Farms.
Yep.
Pickwick.
Yes.
Pickwick has a weekend where they have the lights at the park, and it is such a fun drive.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. And then we've got some walkthrough exhibits.
Okay.
At the Memphis Zoo.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Discovery Park.
Zoo lights.
Discovery Park. There's
Yes.
so much going on. Yeah.
Oh my stars. And y'all, it's just so fun.
It's fun.
And then Savannah, Tennessee, Main Street.
One of my favorite places. Yeah.
It is decorated to the hilt.
It is.
And you don't want to miss. There's so many different communities that are putting on plays and
parades,
different
and
events, parades.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss the Nutcracker. You don't want to miss A Christmas Carol.
Yes.
These are timeless classics that are communities surrounding the Memphis area that they're putting Brownsville, amazing Christmas lights and Christmas events going on.
Yeah.
I just can't call them all out.
But you can tell us where to go. You can tell us where to go to find out about them, can't you?
I'm going to tell you.
Here it comes.
You go to tnvacation.com
That's it.
to find all of these events and more. And I just want to tell you guys,
what?
I didn't talk to you on Thanksgiving, but I am thankful for you all.
Thank
and
you,
I hope
Marty.
that everyone will take the time to just let someone know you're thankful for them and you appreciate them being in your life.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can always let the Lord know that we're thankful for all of his many blessings.
We're thankful for you, Marty
Thank
Marbry.
you.
Yeah, you're a special part of this show for so many years. And I will have to say before we let you go, I have been, of course, I marched in parades when I was playing the trumpet at college and high school and
Marched in many of them.
Yeah, marched in many of them, but I've actually participated in one parade without knowing it. I got caught in the Adamsville parade one time going to Pickwick, and I was in one of the floats. I was in the blind, and people were waving at me and everything, and I was had my duck hunting outfit on. I said, what am I doing in a parade like this? You know, they didn't even know I was a visitor. Thank you, Marty. We love you, girl.
I hope you waved right back.
I did, Marty. I thank you. Appreciate it.
Y'all take care.
Y'all have a great one. Thanks, Marty.
Bye-bye.
Marty Marbry. So much going on. She does such a great job with her job.
You know, and there's so many things that go on in a lot of the littler towns.
Yeah, like
that are so much fun.
Yeah,
and you know, every one of these towns has a great local eating place.
They do support them
and support her absolutely.
And I know Ron knows most of them because he's been at all of them.
I try to stop at a lot of them.
Let me tell you about next week. It'll be first Saturday. Dave Gabbard and Gene Smith will be our co-host. Our guests will include, and this I just solidified this, Creek Stewart. And you're saying, who is Creek Stewart? Well, he's the author of a new book called Disaster Survival 101, but you will recognize his name because he's been featured on the Weather Channel, Today Show, Fox and Friends.
Wow.
And this book is a great stocking stuffer that I hope you will have on. We're going to talk to Dave Payne at Pipe Dream Farms Butchery, the greatest name there is for a deer processing place.
Yeah.
He had 107 deer opening weekend and got so far behind, but he's the place to go, and we'll talk to Dave Payne. Again, Ron Wong, you're off next week, Ron. Okay, I'm going to give you a week off, all right, now, because I'm going to have to give him mileage. Guy Trebo,
yes,
you're always welcome to come by here. Keep it going, buddy.
I will.
It's going good. Go to LarryRay.com. Shelby McCall, we have not saluted you today. You deserve to be saluted. Why are you standing up? We should stand up to you.
We are thankful for Shelby.
We are thankful for Shelby McCall. Thank you, Shelby. This is Larry Ray reminding you to each and every week, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. What else, Guy?
God bless the USA.